What's up, everybody? M times 2 coming at you with another video. Today, we'll be talking about the next obstacle for Sonic. Um, but before I begin, shout out Blake Blaze 05, very talented gamer, top 1000 in Siege. Just dropped a video recently. Also, very funny and charismatic guy, I would say. So go check him out. He's great. Um, One of the best college football coaches of all time, and much more on that channel, Blake Blaze 05. Anyway, on to the video. The next obstacle of Sonic. Now, what do I mean? What is this video? Seems like it's poorly timed, considering obviously the game I'm playing on your screen and the recent success of the movie. It seems like Sonic is in a good place, which it is. It is in a good place. But let's go back in time 11 years ago. Or, sorry, 14 years ago to 2011. When Generations came out. And it was probably the best well-received Sonic game in quite a while. Colors was well-received as well. And, Unleashed has aged really well. Honestly, it still looks great. Boost stages are very imaginative, and although Werehog is mixed reviews, if you ask someone around my age how they feel about Unleashed, I think they will say positive things. Nowadays, even for the people who go back and play it, I think it's it has great stages from Cool Edge and was Empire City, and obviously Rooftop Run and much more. Just a lot of good stages, that very memorable set pieces, and a lot of fun with a pretty fun story, although pretty lighthearted. Yeah, so I feel we're in a similar point now with Shadow Generations coming out. We celebrate the past, good and bad. This is an '06 reimagined stage right here on your screen, and obviously '06 wasn't well received, but here we are celebrating it all through thick and thin with Shadow. And now the question is, where do we go from here? Because if you remember, after Generations, we go to Lost World, which was at best, mixed reviews. At worst, people just didn't like it. I remember not liking it. Still don't really like it to this day. And then, we go on to Sonic Boom and then Sonic Forces, which, I'll get into. And just not a good stretch after Generations. When it seems like the successful formula is in front of Sonic Team, they go in a different direction. Yeah, so the first thing I would say is I would love for Sonic Team to ride this momentum. This is the best the Boost formula has ever felt. It feels like an updated version from the cyberspace levels in the Frontiers. The Boost feels powerful, not as fast as maybe Generations, but it feels really powerful. There's great level design here, especially in Kingdom Valley, which I'm playing right now. It looks amazing, like visually, just from a graphical standpoint. And yeah, we get levels like this, except they're brand new and not, rehashed of the same assets that we've had for a long time. I think we have ourselves an easy 8 out of 10 Sonic game coming. Obviously, there are other factors, but yeah, this formula that we have right now feels amazing. And I'm an adventure guy, obviously. Bringing back the adventure gameplay at this point would feel a little weird, right? Mainly because we've gone so far with the boost formula that it's felt different from when it was in Unleashed, and it's different from what it was in 2011, different from Forces. Now we're doing something pretty new. Like it feels, even though it's the boost formula, it's not the same boost formula. Obviously, that also is enhanced by Shadow's abilities. So maybe throwing a couple gimmicks or abilities that's Sonic's way as well would help the boost experience. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the boost felt really nice in this game. um, yeah, but back to the reuse assets thing. Dating back to generations. I mean, obviously, and excluding Sonic Boom, uh, we've seen Green Hill and Green Hill assets in every mainline Sonic game, uh, and it's just we haven't really got a lot of new stages. Like, can you think of the new stages that we got since Generations? And really, those aren't new stages. Those are just reimagined stages that are great and awesome, and I'll play them all the time. But like, let's be objective here. A lot of them come from Forces, right? There's Mortar Canyon, and there's Metropolis, and there's um, and then there's also like the variations of Green Hill, but there's still Green Hill Axe, and there's the variations of Chemical Plant, but again, it's Chemical Plant, it's Green Hill, some of the same effects. Even if this rematch, there's the last couple of stages for the Avatar uh, that are different. There's that one classic Sonic stage that are different, but it doesn't feel fresh, right? There's nothing that's Sour Generations is as fresh as we got in a long time, and that's because really we haven't seen a reimagined Final Chase in 20 years or 20, however long it's been, 24 years, you know, and Final Rush in 24 years, right? Um, same thing with Braille Canyon, and same thing with Kingdom Valley, right? So in that, and when you think of these things, it's like, yeah, that feels fresh, but it's not new. Regardless of how you spend it, it's not new. We want, I want at least, incredibly original stages. I think we're at the point where we've worn out Green Hill to the brim, especially in Frontiers, and I'll get to Frontiers in a second. I mean, and we've worn out Chemical Plant. We might have even worn out Sky Sanctuary, not sure. Um, even in Mania, as great as that game was, you have Green Hill, you have Chemical Plant, Oil Ocean, you have, you know, those stages start at Speedway. You've seen stages that you've seen before. Yes, they changed them up. Yes, they are still great. Yes, it's a great game. But it really feels like this should be the turning point of something new, right? uh, a lot of the freshness in Frontiers came from the open zone gameplay, whether it's Chaos Island, Kronos Island, Ares Island, right? Like, we get a lot of different set pieces, but then you get into the cyberspace levels, and you're like, hold on. You realize the level design is similar to the games you played in the past. Like, there's like a Skyrail rendition in there. There's a couple other adventure stages in there. There's you're just like, wait, this level design, I've seen it before, and I thought I was crazy at first. The first time I played it, other people pointed it out, and and also there's the only four aesthetics: Chemical Plant, Green Hill, Sky Sanctuary, and the city. Airy, I guess it kind of looks like a city. Um, so it just feels like it's time. This next Sonic game, whatever it is, whether it's Frontiers 2, like the level design obviously has to be, you would want it to be great. You want it to be somewhat on par with Shadow Generations, but also you want the aesthetic to look brand new. There isn't a lot of brand new from 2011 to 2025 now. It's just not like Frontiers maybe is just as fresh as it's gotten, and even then, it's 20, 30 stages of Green Hill Sky Sanctuary chemical plant, right? Um, and yeah, I would say so. That is the biggest obstacle for Sonic. Uh, you're right now. We're in the racing phase once again. We have Crossroads coming to us in July, uh, and I'm excited for that. Get to enjoy characters, more casual game, and get to uh, enjoy all the looks like there's gonna be extreme gear. I saw in like one of the trailers or something, so that's gonna be great. Some Sonic Riders fun, and just some car racing, and a pretty whatever non-canon story. To get the job done. To feed the Sonic fans that are crazy about the story, like myself. Um, so that'll be great. I think I'm gonna enjoy that game, regardless how great it is. It is serviceable. It's my favorite characters on racing. That's great. Do I feel optimistic for the next Sonic game, like the mainline Sonic game? Yes, I do. I mean, how could you not after what Sonic Team should have put together with Shadow Generations? A lot of people's only complaint is you want more, right? You want more, and can we get that longish Sonic game with consistent quality from start to finish? That's what we're looking for. It's like, hate to make a basketball analysis here. I don't really hate it. It's my job, but it's like you have a player on your team who can only put a half together or only put three quarters. Like you want one great 4-quarter game, and that will feel amazing, right? Like when LeBron puts 4 quarters together, you really feel it. You really feel the impact of that, and people talk about it forever, right? Um, but yeah, I mean, I am optimistic for what's next. Do I want like a Frontiers 2 or anything? It doesn't have to be. It actually doesn't have to be. I know they actually expanded with the open zone in Shadow Generations with the hub world, which was it was fun to run around. So it seems like they want to keep that formula going. Um, but it doesn't have to be. It can be a normal-ish Sonic game with stages and a last story. Although we haven't had a last story in a long time, but stages and a last story, and and that would still get the job done. I mean, as long as it feels, plays great with somewhat of a story. Because I over the years I've really started to care about a story because I don't know. You kind of once something gets taken away, you realize how much you're taking it for granted. Like when Generations came out, 2011, I was like, dang, like the characters aren't really talking that much. It kind of doesn't feel great. Like it doesn't really feel like the characters are interacting and stuff like that. And there was also Colors that barely had a story, and obviously Forces was a mess. And you're like, dang, I kind of want when Frontiers gave us bits and pieces of a story, you sit back and you're like, yeah, I do want more of this. I do want to know what Tails is feeling. I do want to know what Knuckles is feeling. Amy even. Um, yeah, these are things that have really mattered to me over time. Not sure because I'm getting older, or is it because, uh, I spent my whole life, following Sonic, playing, watching videos, etc. But through this, it's been a lot of fun, and I hope that in the next game, story is somewhat, a factor. Because Frontiers wasn't perfect, and if you want to hear me talk about Frontiers' story, I would gladly do so. But Frontiers wasn't perfect, but especially with Tails, it made him feel like okay. It made Ian Flynn was like okay, the team messed up on Sonic Forces with Tails, and then here we go again with and Frontiers with the alright. I need to do Tails needs to be his own man, and then so on one hand it's like dang, we gotta do the whole adventure plot again where he's distancing himself from Sonic because he has to be better for himself. Like, I thought we already did this. On one hand, it's like, okay, yeah, I do want this Tails back, so whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Yeah, same thing with Knuckles. And, Amy even kind of mellowing out there. Caught me by surprise. I know some people maybe don't like it, but I actually do like it. I do like that Amy started to mellow out and be more of a character than just chasing Sonic around, or fawning over Sonic. Like, there is more to Amy than that, and I'm glad that Frontiers had that in there, even if again, not perfect, but it was fun. So, yeah, and even the whole thing with Sage, we're seeing her go through. Even though I thought I was a little rushed, like, you didn't read the egg memos or listen to the egg memos, you probably came out of nowhere for you. But yeah, I think still, even with the, and even in a couple of cutscenes that we did see of Eggman and Sage, it was like, okay, there is something there. Again, didn't do the greatest job of it, but it was enough to make me care. And that's what I want to do at the end of the day. I want to care about the characters I'm playing with. And I thought Frontiers brought that back, even if they didn't do the best job of it at the end of the day. Yeah, well, you've made it to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Until next time.